Hello and welcome to another week of Pick 3 DST, where I give you 3 defenses I like and 1 defense I think you should avoid for week 14 of the NFL season. As a reminder, these are not my full weekly DST rankings. If you'd like those, you can click the link below, which will take you to my full rankings and the spreadsheet that I update during the week so you can get the changes in the rankings as the week goes on. So let's dive into my stud defense of the week. It's the Green Bay Packers. They're 9th for me on the season, but they're my 2nd ranked defense this week. The Packers are the 8th ranked defense over the last month, averaging 9 points per game. Green Bay is also 8th on the season in turnover rate, and they're 8th in percentage of drives that end in an offensive score. This is a great matchup for the Packers against a Bears team that ranks 31st in the NFL in sacks allowed. So even though the Packers don't have a ton of sacks, they pressure the quarterback at a decent rate. So that mixed with the Bears offensive line, I think could give the Packers a couple sacks, whether it's Andy Dalton or Justin Fields behind center for the Bears. Also, the Packers should have Jair Alexander back this week, which would be a real big boost to that defense. I want you to pause this video, comment below, let me know who your number 1 defense is for this week or the defense that you're rocking with for week 14 of the NFL season. And now we're going to move into my solid defense of the week. It's the Denver Broncos. They're 4th for me on the week, but 7th for me on the season. Denver's the 14th ranked defense over the last month, averaging 8 points per game. They're 4th in percentage of drives that end in an offensive score, and they're 8th in pressure rate. Even though the Lions did win their first game last week, this still isn't a great offense. They're 22nd in the NFL in sacks allowed, which I think plays into the Broncos' favor, and I really don't expect DeAndre Swift to play in this game. He's not going to be 100%, and the Lions don't really have anything to play for, so I don't think they're going to risk him, which means you're going to see that timeshare rotation of Jamal Williams and some of the rookie backs, which is not an offense that I think should really cause a lot of problems for this Denver Broncos defense. And now it's time for my sleeper defense. I think everybody's too low on the Cleveland Browns this week. They're 17th for me on the season, but they're 6th for me this week. I think it's time that we understand that this Baltimore Ravens offense is not a really fantasy-friendly offense. In fact, on the season, they're giving up the 5th most points to opposing fantasy defenses. That's more than the New York Jets. That's good news for Cleveland, who's the 10th ranked defense over the last month, averaging 8.8 points per game. Cleveland is also 10th in the NFL in sacks, which is great news against a Baltimore team that's now last in the NFL with 43 sacks allowed through 12 games. We just saw the Steelers defense annihilate this Ravens offensive line, and the Ravens just lost their right tackle, so I think the Browns defense could definitely do as much damage as the Steelers did last week. And now my stay away defense of the week, it's the Buffalo Bills. As a Bills fan, I still have a lot of confidence in this defense. I think they're a strong unit overall. However, going up against Tampa Bay without Trey White could be a major issue for the Bills in Tampa. Their quarterbacks are going to be Levi Wallace and Dane Jackson against this trio of really dangerous Buccaneers passing offensive options. I really don't think that this is going to be a game where the Bills are going to be able to get after Brady. We know he likes quick release passes. So I think this is going to be a high scoring shootout where the Bills defense isn't going to put up a lot of points for you. I wouldn't release them because they have a really good playoff schedule, but I just don't think you're going to want to start the Bills defense this week. As a reminder, if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, please do. You can get this defensive content every single week, as well as our start-sit videos, rankings videos, and waiver wire videos, all those things to push you across the finish line to your fantasy championship. And good luck in week 14.